everyone, welcome back to the IPL. This is my week 4 and week 5 matchups against Lightning for week 4 and against Evader for week 5. Yeah, I really couldn't find time to upload post-com for week 4. But I'm just gonna throw these two in together and just do it from there. See both teams here: Basilio, Delmise, Tapu Fini, Gligar, Klefki, Persian Alola, Suicune, Entei, Livani, Latios, Swellow, and Donphan. I led Livani trying to get webs up, and he led Klefki. And he just talks to me as I get up my sticky webs. Knockoff, kinda just get anything off. Switch out, kinda expecting his switch out on his own, but he just goes for Flash Cannon. I'd eat that up. Go back into Livani, thinking he was gonna Toxic because I didn't want my Suicune Toxic at that point. And he talks again, thinking I was going to double back out into Suicune. But I decided to stay in and just get damage and sack this off. Go into Entei and hit Sacred Fire as he just decides to let this go down after it Toxics me. He goes into his Tapu Fini, and I go into Suicune because I can take any hit it wants to go off. And it set up a Calm Mind, so I decided to set up a Calm Mind on my own, actually. And then he taunts me, which sends me into a panic because he can just set up. So I have to go out and just sack bonds until I can get this down on health. Guess for Surf, I live on sturdy. I decided knocking off would be better than Earthquake because now it can't heal back the damage I do, and I have to sack that. Then I have to sack Entei just to get some chip damage, so the Guts Swellow can finally kill this, and just put holes in my team. And I had to find a way to, I had to try to find a way to bring this back with the 3 months I had left. Decided to go for U-turn, fearing any ice type moves. So I go into Suicune, and he goes for a Super Fang and misses, which is good for me. So I set up a Calm Mind on his switch out. I decided to go for a Scold and stay in, and that kills me. So he's guaranteed Bandit, so I can switch out into Swellow and go for a Brave Bird on anything that wants to come in. And that does relatively nothing. I mean, it's good chip damage, but when it can just straight kill me like it does right there, it's not enough. It was max HP Fur Coat. So now I have to try to 1v4. And Latios picks up 1 right there. And I made a stupid decision here in going for the Z Thunderbolt on the Cilio, and he just predicts that going into Gligar, and he lives it and Toxics me, which is unfortunate. If he didn't Toxic me, maybe I could bring this back. He goes into Cilio again, Thunderbolt, and like, oh, okay, that's doing okay damage, and then he rests, which, unless I get some crits and he doesn't hit me, it would be the only way I could win at this point. And he gets the Super Fang, and Toxic kills me next turn as he goes for Sleep Talk. It's a Toxic, it doesn't matter, and I'm gonna lose this one 2-0 to Lightning, which brings the record down to 2-2. The team he brought was not at all what I was expecting. Like his like top threats is what I was expecting. Like I was expecting Scarf Gengar to take on my Latios. I was expecting Charizard X, because Charizard X is just a monster. Um, Halucha was a thought. I mean, I didn't really think he was gonna bring it, but because I have Kofag, and that's why I didn't bring Kofag. But yeah, he brought this really bulky team against me, and it worked out well for him. Now for the Week 5 matchup against Vader, he brought Kieran Black, Victini, Crocodile, Vaporeon, Dusclops, Meowstic, and I brought Latios, Donphan, Mega Diancie, Victory Bell, Suicune, and Swallow. I let Diancie just, if he wants to lead up off of hazards or anything, I could Rock Polish and bounce him back to him. And a Moonblast, that does nothing, so I decided to switch out into Suicune, because this thing can't really touch me. And I'm going to sub on his switch out. Which is, you see a lot. I click sub a lot in this battle with Suicune. His Nightshade can't break my sub because it's only doing 24.7 instead of 25. So I can repetitively just sub Calm Mind on the stuff slots until it dies to Toxic. So I can sub here, and he doesn't kill. And this turn I just decide to Scold so I can still have my sub up for the next mon he wants to send in. And that mon turns out to be Vaporeon, which I can just Toxic that as well, as sub breaks my sub. But sub again as he wishes. And then I start setting up Calm Minds again. I think this turn, yeah, this turn not Toxic, as he sets up a screen. Then after this, I just start setting up Calm Minds until I get to +5. I could have went all the way, but that's just overkill. I mean, even +5 is overkill. Yeah, it gets +5. As he Shadow Balls me, these Shadow Balls are doing maybe 2%, 2 to 3%. I keep on subbing just in case he does break it and has Toxic on this or Thunder Wave. I don't want either happening, as this is just gonna keep on Shadow Balling and just can't break my sub, and it just dies to Toxic. At this point he has to find out what he wants to sack, and he decided that would be Crook. So I kill that easily. And he sends in Victini. My heart kind of stopped right here, because first I see the Gigavolt Havoc, and then I see the crit. And I was like, okay, I have to be dead, and then live on 5%, which is just insane to think about when a Bolt Strike Z-move crit is coming from a mon like Victini. I know it's not stab, but it is still really powerful. So after he Toxics me, I decide to go into Victory Bell, try to pick off Vaporeon as he switches into Kyurem. I decide to sack Suicune right here, see if he's scarfed, see if he's locked into anything. And I send in Latios and Draco, and it kills. It just leaves Vaporeon, and he quits. Which, because Latios was the last one on the field, gives Latios the kill, which I'm fine with. I don't blame Evader for forfeiting. Like, he knew he couldn't win at that point. And it was a pretty aggravating battle for him. I mean, no one likes for that to happen to them, but it just happens sometimes. thank you for watching. See you guys for week 5, where I face. Actually, I'll show you who I face. I face. Where am I? I face Newt. So, that should be fun. See you guys for that match.